On Tuesday, the country received the news of an attack on two tourists and their driver along the Katwe-Kabatoro Road in Queen Elizabeth National Park. The army confirmed the Allied Democratic Forces ADF, who also set ablaze a truck carrying onions last week, are behind the ambush. According to a statement issued by the president, the tourists were a couple on their honeymoon. Nearly 24 hours later, the crime scene in Katwe near Katunguru Lake still bore the signs of death and destruction. Though the bodies had been removed, what remained of the burnt vehicle was still there. The car's body was riddled with bullet holes.
When I was from dropping a passenger, I found a burning vehicle and two bodies on the ground nearby.
Say that by 8 almost, nightlife was, we were like in limbo. Not even a bird was singing by 8.
The UPDF has given assurance that the country is safe and this has not affected tourism.
What I want to assure the tourists is that isolated as I've indicated, certainly this won't happen again. There are resources that we have had to put in place in terms of the technical intelligence capabilities.
Do we know where the ADF came from?
They came from DRC, and we are sure it's ADF.
The army said they will guarantee security in the national parks, and Brigadier Kulaje hinted on the approach the forces are using.
The joint team of Uganda UPDF combatants, Uganda Police, and the Wildlife Authority, plus the technical assets, have been deployed to ensure that these attackers are hunted down and killed.
5 days ago, Allied Democratic Forces rebels attacked or ambushed a truck and killed 2 in Kasese. Just yesterday, 2 tourists and the driver of the vehicle they were traveling in were also killed by the same rebel group, the Allied Democratic Forces. And this is happening in a space of less than 1 week. So could this be an issue of an intelligence gap on the side of the security forces?
Failure of vigilance in the population. Because intelligence depends on the population, right? 1. 2, intelligence depends on technical assets, where you have deployed them. 3, we learned of these people's entrance into the country last week. All right? Now, given the numbers, you can only be able to detect the individuals with the intelligence from the communities.
According to the UPDF spokesperson, the Uganda Wildlife Authority and stakeholders in tourism sector are meeting in Mwea to assess the situation.
This morning, the division commander and our coordinator with these agencies from the UPDF have converged in Mwea to ensure, first of all, on the site, they have been on the scene, and they are going to sit with the executive director of the Wildlife Authority to see where there are any gaps.
President Museveni says the UPDF has been using a form of tracking the fugitive groups called Kufuata Nyayo, but more reliable ways have been discussed. Although it's not clear how many rebels carried out the attack and the kind of weapons they used and where the attackers are, Kulaije believes the army will find them. Sudhir Byaruhanga, NTV.